Yo squad, what's good? Today I'm gonna show you guys some tips for arranging out your finished beats. I just dragged in a sample I made this week, which sounds like this. Split that up to start. Let's waste no time and jump into some drums. They're all gonna come from my Southpaw drum and loop kit. Down in description, see what sounds the best with this sample. Alright, let's work on some drums. Let's sauce up those rolls. And snare time. Little open hat. Okay, now we can jump into an 808. I'm gonna lay down a simple pattern to get started, and then I'll switch out the 808 and that fits a little bit better. That's good for a little pattern to get started with. Let's see what is gonna hit the best. Let's try one of these more interesting types. Yeah, this will work. Just give you guys a preview. That sounds like this. Now let's flesh out that 808 pattern. Decent. Let's run that from the top. Let's switch it up a little bit for the verse. These sound like this. Let's get it. Start off with a quick tubular bell hit. Again, we're just going to lay down a simpler 808. Let's get it. That pattern is all set. Here's what it sounds like. Can dive into a little bit of arrangement tips. So I usually do a 4-bar intro, then a standard 16-bar hook, 16-bar verse, and like an 8-bar bridge, and then we can repeat stuff from there. Let's go ahead and move this stuff in place. Drag all this over, make room for the hook. Now I'll drag the bridge over to make room for that verse, and I'll just copy over everything in the verse. So it's 16 bars, same with the hook. Pretty straightforward. Hold Option and drag this over for the intro. And I like to do something interesting with every intro. Let's do like a tape start so it'll kind of speed up. Maybe a little bit longer. Okay, so now we have the hook. When you're arranging, it's really all about silence and making little beat chops. Emphasize parts to the listener and the artist that sections are changing. First thing I'm going to do, drag this hat back halfway to that last clap here. Do that with the open hat, just the snare and the 808 during that little transition, which sounds like this. Then at the end of that 16 bar hook, I like to just drag everything back to the final clap, which will lead into the verse nicely. Perfect. So for the verse, I like to pull the hats back after that first clap, and the 808 pattern, I like to pull it about 4 bars back, the last note before that. Now I'll pull that hat back the same way, leave these sound effects, and maybe I'll pull the 808 back during this part, just that little chop. And then once again, we're just going to pull literally everything but the clap all the way back to that last clap. And I actually like to have a riser at that point, kind of emphasize the change in the section. Okay, so that's going to lead into your bridge. I'd like to throw down one of these impact sounds so it transitions cleanly from the end of the verse to the bridge. This is kind of where you can drag in some kind of little transition. A good transition is like a riser and an impact in one. And come in and line it up so that the impact part is hitting right at the beginning of that next bar, like this. Now we have that basic arrangement as far as all the elements of the beat. The rest is very simple. You're just going to copy over some of the sections and it'll give you a good basis. I'm going to transition that right back to the hook again. So I'm going to click this, hold Option, and drag it up right after the bridge. And then after that, just pull that verse over identically like this. And maybe I'll just throw one more hook at the very end. And that takes us to almost 2.5 minutes, which is perfect. Drop a comment if you want me to do a video solely on different types of creative outros you can do and see how it ends. All right. So, pretty standard go-to arrangement for rappers to jump on. Hope y'all learned something from the video this week. See you next week. And remember, my kits are down in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.